What's going on, YouTube family? I'm back with another video. I just want to shout out my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate all the love and the support. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of my future videos. But I wanted to make a video about Kamala Harris. I know y'all saw that fucking disaster of an interview on The Breakfast Club. It was a fucking disaster. But I have an article here that I wanted to read based on that interview. It's an article from CNN. I'm going to give my commentary as I read, as I always do. The title of the article is Harris Takes on Questions About Her Blackness. Wow. Okay. So Senator Kamala Harris directly confronted critics Monday who have questioned her black heritage. Her record incarcerating minorities as a prosecutor, and her decision to marry a white man. So I'm going to say right off the top, if you're a black candidate and you want the black vote and you want black support and you got these issues, it's going to be highly problematic. Highly problematic. Okay. In an interview with The Breakfast Club host, DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God that aired Monday, the show's host asked the California Democrat to address a series of derogatory memes that have circulated on social media. One of the hosts cited a meme that said Harris is not African American because her parents were immigrants born in India and Jamaica, and she spent her high school years in Canada. Wow. So how is she going to understand the African American experience or the black experience if she's not African American? She is a product of immigrants that weren't born here. Okay? So she's not really African American. She's not really American DOS. So how is she going to articulate our problems and understand how to fix our problems if she's not really one of us? If she's not a product of the black community. Okay? So this is fair criticism. So they brought this issue up. And the fact of the matter is, she wasn't even living in the United States for a portion of her life. She was living in Canada. But the bitch wants the black vote. So I was born in Oakland and raised in the United States, except for the years that I was in high school in Montreal, Canada. Harris responded with a laugh. And look, this is the same thing they did to Barack Obama. This is not new to us. And so I think that we know what they are trying to do. Okay. It's actually, like I said, it's fair criticism because Barack Obama was white and he was half Kenyan. So really, he wasn't an American DOS himself. And that's why when he got in office, he did more for gays and other groups than black Americans, because he doesn't understand the black experience, because he was raised by his white grandparents in Hawaii. He didn't understand it. And you were fucking living in Canada. So how are you going to fix the problems in the community when you don't understand them? You didn't experience them. This is why you're having a problem connecting with black people, and black people ain't feeling you because they see right through your bullshit. But I digress. All right, Harris went on to say they are trying to do what has been happening over the last 2 years, which is powerful voices trying to sow hate and division. And so we need to recognize when we're being played. We actually, as a community, we recognized that we were played with Obama, and we're not having that shit again. So it's either you come up with a black agenda or you're not getting our fucking vote. Period. Okay. One of the hosts follow up by asking Harris how she responds to people who question the legitimacy of your blackness. Okay. I think they don't understand who black people are, Harris replied. I'm not going to spend my time trying to educate people about who black people are. Because right now, frankly, I'm focused on, for example, an initiative that I have that is called the Lift Act. That is about lifting folks out of poverty, she said. Detailing her plan for a $6,000 tax credit for middle-class Americans. Wow. You know, Kamala, it's not about smoking weed and shit like that. And I'm going to get into that a little, further in the article. the takeaways from the fucking interview, the reason why she wants you to vote for her is because she's black, or she is a person of color, and because she smoked weed. But how black are your policies? How black is your record? How black are the things that you champion for to help our community? How black are your policies, Kamala? That's what black people are looking at. We're looking at your record as a prosecutor when you incarcerated minorities, which fed the prison industrial complex and the school to prison pipeline, which is the number one issue in the black community is mass incarceration. So you can't fix the problem when you're fucking part of the problem. How are you going to fix mass incarceration, Kamala? That's our question. How black are your policies? We don't care about your skin color or what you look like. We want to know what the policy prescriptions are. We want to know what your black agenda is. We want to know how you're going to fix the problems in the African American community specifically. We're not talking about America. We're not talking about immigrants. We're not talking. What are you going to do for the black community? You haven't said anything. And that's why you're having fucking problems. So she went on to say, I'm black and I'm proud of being black. But it's funny, when she was interviewed by Jake Tapper in the CNN town hall, when Jake Tapper, when Jake Tapper asked her about being the first first African-American female president, you know what she said? And she self-identified herself as a person of color. So what she should have said during the CNN town hall is that I'm black and I'm proud of being black to Jake Tapper. But she's not. Do you see the fucking scam that she's trying to play on you guys? Do you see the fucking scam? This is a fucking culture vulture, just like Obama was. Obama came and took our votes and didn't do shit. We're not getting played again, Kamala. We've already did this with eight years with a fucking Obama. We're not doing this shit with you. Okay? So furthermore, she said at a later point in the interview, I was born black, I will die black, and I'm not going to make excuses for anybody because they don't understand. Harris, a former California state attorney general, says she makes no apologies for pursuing violent criminals to keep communities safe, but added that she wished she could have done more to affect change from the inside. Pressed by the host of the Breakfast Club to address some of the most searing criticism of her record as a prosecutor, she was asked what she had done as a prosecutor to hurt black people and whether there were decisions that she regretted. I regret not having done enough, Harris said, who was elected district attorney of San Francisco before becoming California's attorney general. If I had been there a little longer, if I had more in terms of bandwidth, I would have done more around creating initiatives, for example, in the juvenile justice system. That was something that was always my agenda to focus on, and I didn't get around to it. It's funny, she had the power to influence change, to instead of incarcerating minorities, she could have championed for more counseling instead of putting black youth in prison, which I stated fed the prison industrial complex and the school to prison pipeline. She could have had more compassion on them to understand that it's more of a mental health issue because a lot of young black youth don't have fathers, don't have families, don't have resources, don't have opportunity. They're more likely to make mistakes than other kids or other kids of other groups. So if you were really a black woman, you would have championed for prison reform. You would have championed police reform and how police officers engage with black people in terms of their policing. I didn't hear anything about police reform during this interview. I didn't hear anything about championing a jobs bill for young African American youth, which is actually the unemployment rate among blacks have gone down to the lowest rates, but among youth is still high. I didn't hear her say nothing about black youth unemployment, which would deter the school to prison pipeline, which would actually prevent kids from going to jail and a lot of young black males from going to jail. But when you're in bed with private prison industries, you can't do that. You can't see through this fucking woman, man. This woman is a fucking tool. She's being propped up so that she can advance the prison industrial complex. That's all it is. It's crazy. But she noted her work on recidivism and reentry initiatives as a prosecutor, as well as her work with Senate colleagues to reform the nation's bail system. She acknowledged that some voters will reject her candidacy simply because she was a prosecutor. Yeah, exactly. Let me finish this article. Harris said the criminal justice system is deeply flawed, but makes no apologies for pursuing violent criminals. Nobody's against that. Nobody's against you pursuing violent criminals. But what are you going to do in terms of the disparities of how black men are treated in the prison system, in the criminal justice system? How are you going to change that if you incarcerated them at a high rate while you were the Attorney General of California? I don't hear any difference of how she's going to change the system. I don't hear it. Okay, so let's not buy into the myth that black folks don't want law enforcement. We do. We don't want excessive force. We don't want racial profiling. But certainly, if somebody robs, burglarizes my house, I'm going to call the police. The California senator added that she believes some of the glaring problems within the system could be tackled from within. There is no question that the system is deeply flawed, that there is systemic racism in the system. We have a problem with mass incarceration, which you contributed to. But now you realize that there's a problem. You realize now that there is a problem. Wow. In particular, black and brown men. And notice how she always lumps black men with brown men. How Charlemagne asked her directly, what is your black agenda? What are you going to do? She then said that the black agenda needs to be the American initiative. No, not at all. That's why I'm down with the American DOS, because in order for you to get our vote, we need to see tangibles in 2020. We need to see what your agenda is, and specifically for the black community. I am down with the DOS. I am down with us having demands on these fucking politicians. If you want our vote, you are going to have to give us something. You are going to have to give us a plan. You're going to have to give us something, a concrete plan on how you're going to fix the problems in our communities, or you're not getting our fucking vote. The Democrats are like that fucking pretty ass girl, right? The fucking pretty ass girl. Hold on one moment. The fucking pretty ass girl that wants your money. She wants you to spend all your money on her. You know what I'm saying? She wants you to spend all your money, take her out, take her to Red Lobster, take her out to buy her nice things, but she ain't giving up the pussy. So your money is, the analogy is your money is equivalent to your vote. Your vote is political currency, like your money is currency in terms of buying things and doing things. And you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. The Democrats are the female. They want your vote, which is the currency, but they ain't giving you nothing in return for your vote. Just like the female, the pretty ass girl that wants your vote, that wants your money, but ain't giving up no pussy, that's the Democrats. So if the Democrats want our money or want our vote, they're going to have to give up the pussy. They're going to have to give up a clear, legitimate plan. Cory Booker, Kamala, if y'all want our fucking vote, you're going to have to give us a clear plan on what you're going to do to fix the problems in our community, to fix mass incarceration, to fix education. You know what I mean? More investment in these communities so that more businesses will flourish and invest in the inner cities so that there is jobs and opportunity for our youth. Police reform, criminal justice reform, all of this shit has to be addressed in order for you to get our fucking votes. Obama 2.0 ain't happening. Obama ain't happening again. If you want our vote, you're going to have to show us something for us to give you our fucking vote, Kamala. We see through your bullshit. And the fact that you fucking incarcerated minorities, you a fucking swirler. On top of all that, and you are not an American DOS. You're not getting the fucking black vote. I don't give a fuck if you got Bakari sellout all over the place as a surrogate doing damage control for you. You're not getting the black vote. I don't care if you put Angela Rye on there. I don't care if you put all of these gatekeepers in the black community, in the Democratic Party to control us, to get us to vote for Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. You're not getting our fucking votes because you're not speaking to our issues. You're not getting it, Kamala. You need to get the fuck out of here. And it's fucked up that you're trying to play with our intelligence by telling us that you're smoking weed and all that other shit. You're just trying to play on our emotions so we can vote for you. But we're coming together. We are down with the American DOS. If you don't have fucking tangibles, you're not getting our fucking vote. And that's the bottom line, period. But I just want to thank everybody for listening to my commentary. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. We got to send a message to these fucking politicians, man, that we mean business, that we're not going to be played anymore. We're not going to be bamboozled anymore, that this is the great awakening in the black community, that we woke and we have demands. All right? So thank you so much for allowing me to share my views. Have a good evening.